Acceptance of experience. Our minds like security and would rather not be taken by surprise. So they tend to trade in the ways that are familiar to them and stick with the same old patterns of trading. It is hard for our minds to accept new experiences, changes, and the idea that each new situation requires a new and creative approach. Learn to accept what is happening on the market. If things are not going your way, don't indulge in angry feelings or thoughts that are not helpful. An attitude marked by acceptance will help you follow the changes that occur on the market and react in accordance to them. Also, if we don't accept our losses, we can easily let ourselves be traumatized by them and start to avoid new moves on the market. Take every failure as a lesson and accept that there is no must on the market. The sooner you accept the new situation you are in, the sooner you will be back in the game. Accepting is a form of validation for what is happening. It keeps us tuned with new movements. Avoidance is a bad choice because it's all about struggling and not recognizing the actual state, which is not effective at all. Imagine that you have fallen into quicksand. Everybody knows that the more you struggle with it, the deeper you sink. The more you resist accepting the current situation, the easier it will be for it to engulf you. Present moment focusing requires acceptance, and the other way around is also true. Exercising mindfulness as a process always includes exercising acceptance as well. The third principle of acceptance and commitment therapy is diffusion. It is meant to help you let go of those unhelpful extreme thoughts, regardless of whether they stem from despair or from the "I am Superman" zone. Fusion is the perspective we have with regard to our thoughts, a state of attachment, while diffusion is the detachment, or the cognitive distancing from something that can be potentially unhealthy to us. When we are detached from extreme thoughts and feelings, we are less reactive from a cognitive point of view, meaning that we are less keen to engage in behaviors that are based on those extreme thoughts. I failed the last 3 trades, and I will fail this one. This is an example of an unhelpful thought. My fusion to this future-predicting thought can be very damaging to my trading. Firstly, in order to be defused from the thought, I have to observe it from a here and now perspective. Then I have to accept it as something that my mind is creating out of my previous experience and my worries for the future. After that, it is letting go time. Some questions you can ask yourself in order to get out of this fusion with the unhelpful content of your mind are: if you go along with that thought, buy into it, and let it control you, where does that leave you? If you let that thought dictate what you do, how will it work out in the long run? What does that thought look like? How big is it? What does it sound like? Or you can thank your mind for the thoughts. After all, the mind is creating those thoughts in order to protect you from insecurities and disappointment. That's an interesting thought. Thank you, brain, for that thought. Another thing you can do to make thoughts and feelings pass. You can say it in a silly voice. Sing it. Say it very slowly. Repeat it quickly over and over. Write the thoughts on cards. Thank you, brain, for reminding me that I was not successful in 3 consecutive trades. Still, every situation is a new one, and the things you are talking about belong to the past. In the present moment and in the context of this new situation, I see a new opportunity to open a trade. Here is a different scenario where the mind is under the pressure of thoughts that require success at all costs, and not taking into account that the current situation on the market is maybe not favorable for trading. Mind: you have to open that trade. You are losing and losing. You have to do it. Take a risk. Be a man. Your answer could go along the lines of: thank you, brain, for caring about me. Still, the situation right now is not a good one for starting a new trade. Sometimes missing a trade is the best trading move. I am choosing that I will wait for a clearer situation. You have also probably heard by now how it is not a good idea to trade while tired, under the influence of alcohol, or excited. This is because the cognitive reactivity is much higher in those cases, and it is more likely for you to listen to unhelpful thoughts, usually the ones that prompt you to take risks in a trade. In those psychological states, our ability to read the indicators and charts objectively also decreases, so the danger is doubled. It's better to step away from the trading activity in such cases. Thank your brain for the idea. Thank you. Still, I'm going to sleep. We will figure it out tomorrow.